a little bit more serious, which is our favorite.
Yes.
And we're going to be
Right.
talking more about America and all the great things that have happened so far. And starting off with this week for what's trending, we're going to start with, it's been a year since the presidential election. How do you think how it's gone?
Party.
Go
There's
ahead,
someone
Lucas.
talk. Someone share information.
I don't even know where to begin.
Yeah.
I don't know. I remember throwing in my ballot because I couldn't go home, so I ended up getting a absentee ballot. So it just got mailed to me, and I got to do it. I don't remember how, like a week and a half probably. They shipped it to me, and then I'd ship it back. It's unique. It was the first time I
Got to
vote. It's been interesting though. It's been a unique ride as Trump being president.
Yeah.
I
But-
can definitely say it's not what I expected,
Right.
to say the least.
Yeah. I love, okay, can we just talk about that picture right here? Like, can you guys try and make that face? Because, like,
I can't do that. It's embarrassing.
I know. it is embarrassing, but you know what is also embarrassing? This year,
Oh.
since he's been elected.
You're right.
Just kidding.
You're right.
Well,
No, you're right.
Well, it's like, it's real. Let's get real. I wouldn't have like been like, yes, go Donald Trump by any means. And I think, but I do think if I'm trying to be positive and like put some kind of like spin on it, I do think that because Donald Trump was elected, it made a lot of people more aware of what's going on. They were like, this is crazy. Now I need to be vocal. I need to be visible, especially like queer people, you know what I mean? Or like people of color. They now like, I feel like their voice is getting louder and like it's getting amplified. And that's really cool to see.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that would have happened to the same extent if someone else would have gotten elected. So like, I wouldn't have, it wasn't my preferred president by any means, but I think there was a lot. There's now, I think it caused a shift in the attitude of people, for sure.
Definitely made people pay more attention to
Yes.
what's going on in the world. For sure.
It's really unique too because it seems that Trump used another trend that a lot of people don't. I mean, it is big, but he used social media to run a lot of his campaign, and honestly, it helped him a lot.
Did it?
It did. No, it did.
It did help
actually.
him in being elected, I think.
Yes, yeah.
Now it's like kind of taking a turn for the worse because he's so active on Twitter.
But
I
the
think.
thing is,
Yeah,
it's
that's so true.
it's funny because he does say stuff that offends people, but then for some reason, even if he gets lashed for it, he bounces right back up somehow.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it's kind of good in a president. I'm not gonna. I mean, bouncing back from bad choices,
Yeah.
or well, not bad choices. Sorry, bad decisions / bad things that happen to you. Is that a bad thing? Resilience in a
Well,
person?
I think I'm just gonna be real.
Yeah.
I think there is something that's to be said about the fact that like if a woman does something controversial, then it's over for them. But Trump can like do multiple controversial things, and it's like, oh, Trump, that's just old Trump. And I just feel like I mean, if we're gonna go like about our next topic, like if you want to get into that, I feel like that's a perfect example of it.
And what we were talking about earlier, Hillary, being that the emails and stuff that you were talking about, that kind of gave her, a terrible look, a terrible reputation. And I feel like Donald Trump has done a lot of similar things.
And why did it take them a year to figure out these emails? Like, there's no way anything online takes a year to find.
Nope.
Like,
You can
bottom
find
line, cut
anything
and
online
dry,
like that,
just
like,
not
seriously.
realistic.
Right.
And so it feels like, wow, like, what can be said when, like, he can get away with so much?
But you can think, I mean, this is me playing devil's advocate. That happens with a lot of presidents, straight up. I hate to say it, but like, I do not support like what Trump said about women, what he said about LGBT. That's terrible things that a president shouldn't be doing. But if you look back on other presidents, we've got Bill, we have Nixon, we have George Bush, who people say is possibly one of the worst presidents of this, I mean, like the last 25 years probably or more.
Yeah.
I can keep going on, but I don't think I want to be on a soapbox for too long, really, for it. But I'm not saying like I support what Trump has said with those comments because they're all horrible, like I restated. But I mean, every president has their flaws, and sometimes you got to learn from them. And I know it's not a good thing at all, but we'll see where it goes from here because it's
Yeah.
only been a year and we have another 3 no matter what.
Right.
It'd be really, impeachment, but I don't think that's going to happen. People are calling for it, but it's going to be really hard for it to happen.
I just think, I don't know, I think it says a lot about like where we are, where people can get away with a lot, but then other people can't get away with a lot.
And that's discrimination in the long
And
run.
it definitely on some degree is like, I think we should evaluate what we care about. And especially when someone, like I get not knowing people are so
Yep.
flawed before they become president, and then it turns out like, oh, this is mistakes.
Like,
Yeah.
But like, I feel like Donald Trump was very clear in how much of a not, morally sound person he was at
Right.
times, if that makes sense.
yeah, no, that makes sense.
So I feel like if someone presents themselves as being like, oh, I'm kind of like offensive, I'm doing all of this, like from the get-go, like why are we expecting anything different?
Yeah.
I agree with that for sure.
All right, moving on to our next topic is the Paul Manafort,
It's
Manafort, Rick Gates, and George. I don't know how to say his last name, so I'm not even gonna.
Papadopoulos.
Papadopoulos?
Yes.
I'm not gonna butcher it.
Papadopoulos.
Papadopoulos.
George, I want to read my notes so I get this right. George and Gates was charged with 12 count of indictment with conspiracy of money laundering.
And then,
And this was before the election,
Yep.
from what
Yes.
I've read.
and then Gates was his, I want to say, it wasn't assistant, but he was
He was
related.
his campaign manager.
No, that's not Gates. That's,
one's the
That's
campaign
George.
George
Papadopoulos.
Papadopoulos.
Yes.
Okay.
Gates was Paul's assistant, if
Yeah,
I
okay.
remember
That's
right.
correct.
Yeah.
So they're kind of in the same boat. George
Right.
Papadopoulos, sorry, I'm not trying to
No,
take
you're
it
fine.
over from you, is in trouble with the CIA, which is actually a completely different. I mean, it kind of is. It's kind of different, but it's kind of not. Basically, lying about ties with Russia.
Yeah, he was having contact with them
Mm-hmm.
and lied to the FBI. So this is who we have.
Yes.
in our
This is our
office.
team.
Yeah. Bunch of liars is what we've noticed. But I mean, at least they're caught. Is what. At least it's out in the open, and that they're getting in trouble for it. Is
Right.
this?
Like,
Main
I
thing.
feel like people aren't even that worried. Like, what are they talking about with Russia? That's something like, what is like,
Right,
what's
what's
going on?
going
Why
on?
does it need to be so low key? What is there being said? I don't know.
I mean, that's Putin in general, though, too.
Yeah.
I mean, again, Putin. If you guys know anything about Putin, he's not really the most open guy with a lot of topics, especially
Yeah.
with what's going on in Russia.
And
So,
wasn't he excited that Trump got elected?
Yeah, he was like,
yeah.
this is it. This is
Yeah.
it.
It's like Dr. Doofenshmirtz from Phineas and Ferb.
Secret plan. Yeah, that was really him.
No,
I think that's
but
the perfect way to.
Yeah.
I don't know. Though.
Doesn't it feel like a joke? I feel like it really does
It
feel like
is.
an SNL skit. Like,
It's like a sitcom
Yes.
that
like,
never
yeah.
ends.
And I'm like, I don't
Like
know.
when
Kind
he
of
first
sad that we
came
have
out.
that running our country, and I mean, to us, we're just taking it as a
Right.
joke, and it's
Yeah,
Right.
no, it's
such
very
a
serious.
horrible thing
Right.
that's
Yeah.
happened.
It is.
Yeah.
But
just-
at this point, what can we really do until the next election? If we want to change, what is there for us to do?
I mean, but like some people did as much as they could have. You
Yep.
know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like even voting, like
Yeah.
I voted. Like
That and what you said earlier about Trump. What did you say?
resilience.
No,
what did I
when
say
we were
about him?
talking before about, I can't remember what you said. Something about Trump and the people who voted for him wanted change.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Okay, like earlier, yeah.
Build a wall.
Yeah,
Well, no, it's not even that with the perspective that people look at. It's the businessman perspective instead of actually getting a corrupt politician. But ironically enough, we got a corrupt businessman almost
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
end, which is sort of worse.
Yeah.
I mean, like honestly, why he should know this better. Why is he discriminating against people when if he's been in the line that he has been in forever, shouldn't he know how to racially include people, how to include different diversity, diverse people? Like there's laws set for this, for workplaces.
Yeah.
This is me going HR, sorry guys for getting serious, but like seriously, why wouldn't he feel that same way if he's worked with so many different people throughout his life and yet he can't bring it to the presidency?
What I really don't understand is like how like it really is like Kathy Griffin. Like maybe like remember when she took that picture and it was so controversial. I feel like people were so more upset about that than things that actually like are affecting us. Like Kathy Griffin is not our president. She doesn't have like a say. She's not like, you know what I mean? And for Trump to be able to say a whole bunch of things that are as like, you know, very gross about women and be able to say all of this like things and like people are more mad about like someone holding up like a mask, which I don't think obviously was maybe the right thing to do.
No.
But like I feel like it's so weird that we want something to like be really shocked about and be offended by, but we're not getting up in arms about things that like to the extent that we should.
Two wrongs don't make it right, though. So
I mean,
well, you know what I'm saying?
No, of course, but like at the same time, like when our president is saying stuff that's horrible, why are we
The pedestal.
Just putting it behind
yeah,
us.
why
It's
are we
like,
oh, that's just our president. We gotta like super.
That's
Why?
Trump.
It's
like,
the
And
expected almost.
why isn't he trying to educate himself?
It's the
too?
pedestal effect. When you're at that, you know what that is.
Then go.
Okay,
go for
I mean
it.
it's like a pedestal basically. So he's on top of it, and there's certain points where you can't reach it. So when you have someone like Kathy do that, and then you have something when you're that high of a position, you're not going to get touched. And again, like I go back when I said he's resilient as hell. Like he is not going to just fall back over with something like that. Obviously, he has enough followers where they're just like, your career's done. And that just shows a lot about our country too.
Yeah.
I mean, people are. I mean, it's if you're gonna hop on a bandwagon, you might as well hop on a bandwagon. But like, you gotta show your loyalty for something, and that's what Trump followers did, unfortunately. And that maybe explains it a little bit, but it's still not. It's not okay.
Yeah, no,
that's what I'm
understand.
trying
I'm
to
just being
say.
a little
At least.
silly, but like
I know. No, I know.
yeah, it's wild.
That's a great example.
It's wild.
All right.